Guys, these are your daily tarot cards for Wednesday, February 26th, 2020. Any of you that had missed my feed or missed my, in my feed or in my stories, that I am going to be closed on the 27th. If you want to book a reading for later on in the day, that's totally fine. It's just I have a doctor's appointment early in the morning and I have to go to the hospital for some blood work. So I just cannot guarantee a time I will be back because we are expecting a snowstorm at the same time. So the 25th, 26th, and the 27th, this information, these tidbits are provided by Astrology Answers. There's a very well-known page to astrologers. I love them, absolutely. I take classes with them. So we have Aries and Pisces in the sky. So we're having a little fire. So we think of the sign Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. So that's why when this weekend our thoughts were underwater. So you think about how you breathe underwater. You can't really breathe underwater. How your thoughts are. You're kind of like, everything's kind of fogged unless you have goggles on to clearly see. Like your thought process is a little different. Like, it's kind of weighed down. You can only hold your breaths for so long underwater. So now that we have this fire in the sky, the energy has changed. So I hope for a lot of you that are loyal fans of mine, thank you so much, that have been DMing me about this harsh, depression, this anxiety we're feeling. Just know with, Aries now approaching us, 25th, 26th, 27th, in the sky, we have the little bit of fire, so the energy is changing. So Pisces are usually closed off. That's the kind of how people read them when they see them in the world, but it's very untrue, especially when they're born right now with a little fire into their sign. It's like it adds a little fun to them. So these are like the poets, the artists, the those really folk singers. Like they have something to say, but it has depth into it. So channel messages from Spirit. They're saying positive change for the better. Listen to Spirit. Heightened abilities. So our abilities are heightened. I've noticed that a lot, that I've been, like last week, I barely slept. It's just like channel message after channel message. And I was just like, you know what, no offense, but it's just like, I need to sleep. So I very much honored myself this today. And I got that sleep that I'm falling asleep during prayer. I'm just falling asleep all the time. So I'm like, my body's telling me I need some rest. So I just like have a seat, have some rest. So we got to honor our bodies, listen to our bodies a lot right now. Even Mercury retrograde said this. I am still, trying to recover from this cough. My doctor said it might be a month for me, so we'll see how that goes. I'm also, for tonight, I'm pulling from the Enchanted Forest deck tarot cards, along with messages from your angels, because I feel like some of us need some messages from Spirit, because it's just been one of those times. It's just like, don't feel like everything is going to be dark under Mercury. Honestly, it is a very lovely planet. It has a lot of power to it. It is a part of communication. It just makes, like I said, if you're having a bad day and, the next day you wake up and you kind of realize you stepped in it, be mature about it and just, clarify your thoughts and your feelings. Be the mature one. A bunch of cards went under the couch. My gosh. Okay, so hold on a second. That's the one beauty when you record for YouTube. You're able to pause. When you're live on Instagram, it's like you're live. You can't pause. You're just there. So you got to get it right. So, impartiality. Staying in the middle of things, finding the balance of things. I feel like we kind of have to veto our heart right now and listen to Spirit. Listen to our guides right now, because it's like there's a situation that may or may not happen. It was a vision to me. It may or may not happen, but if it does come up, it's like, look at every time we listen to our heart. No offense to our heart. I love my heart because I do have a very big heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I always try to help others. But it's like, what? Let's see the patterns of every time I've helped someone. I listened to my heart and I overruled my intuition. And it's like, this time we can't. Because they're saying we'll be pushed back 2 years. There'll be a 2-year delay because of it if you do not listen to your intuition here. That this is not the situation you want to be or put yourself in. So the last card we have is Release from the Chakra Oracle deck. So they have the graves there. So it's a release of a death. Release of, they're saying the sun is shining. We have the sun shining there. The rain is starting to stop. Maybe this is like a sun shower. So it's saying, you know what? It's time to release the heartache. It's time to release this bereavement. It's time to move forward. Move into the sunlight. And it is very much a choice, guys. I speak from this because everyone that has followed me knows that I've lost my husband, so I'm not talking out of my butt here. So we're pulling from the Enchanted Forest deck today, very much like I was talking about. We have the Moonlight is the first card here. So it's the full moon. Who dare goes into the woods in the moonlight. I love the ripples in the water. We know that there's a higher energy. So we see things like the shadows are now are shown to us. Things that were hidden in the dark are now revealed to us. They're saying a calling of Holly back its self control, perhaps our lives, about a dream we all have mad as moon hairs. Even the most pragmatic cannot deny the magic of the night. When the moonlight shines upon the reader, take it as a sign to let intuition rule over logic for a time. So just like with myself, it's like let your intuition guide you. Do not listen to your heart right now. We have to see that if someone keeps showing themselves to you, that they're never going to change. They're always going to be that person, and it's just like, you know what, you got to let them be, and now we got to put ourselves first. Pay attention to your dreams, because this came to me in a dream. So it's like, I already know my answer now. I've talked it out. I've talked about it with the universe. I've consulted, my guides. I consulted someone that I hold true to me. And it's just, and she is a faithful person. She is a woman that fears God, a God-fearing woman. So it's like, we all came to the same conclusion. So that's my answer. So, you know what I mean? If you have to talk it out, and I feel like talking it out helps because you are making the right decision. Before I didn't have anyone to talk out these decisions with, and now I do. Which may be full of protests. Exactly what I'm saying. There may be protests there because it's like, this is not how we were raised. We were raised to always help out certain peoples. And it's like, but, we've done this before. So, now it's the time to, step up and be there for ourselves right now. This time we're going to choose ourselves over everybody else. Spend time outside in the dark and with no intention other than to be open to the mysteries. The meaning at a glance, scarcity and mystery. The dream world, intuition. Something is hidden from view. Very much so. And it's like, you know what? It's time. It's very much time for us to step up and be about ourselves. And that is not in a egotistical way. This is very much, you know what? How many times have I put, X, Y, and Z? I can count on my hands. How many times I've put someone's needs before mine. And just like Spirit had warned me, if I do choose to help this person out, it's going to put me behind 2 years. And I fought so hard to be where I am right now. So I choose not to be delayed anymore. I choose very much so to keep going forward towards the light. And that's what the wide world is very much another positive confirmation that choose yourself right now. So we have the 4 boons. This is very much warning us of people. This could be yourself or someone that you know that's a hoarder. They sit there, they cry, they never have enough. Even though they have more money than you, they'll cry that they never have enough money. They're always poor. They always need help. Just like with the troll wives here, they have baked so many pies to sell to hungry travelers, but they sit there and they scare the travelers off because they don't want to give up the pies. They love silver, but they still don't want to give it up because they have this hoarding attitude. This hoarding could lead to literal hoarding, like bunch of like belongings, or emotional. Give up the greed to find peace of mind. Let someone else have a piece of pie. There's plenty for all. Very much so. So, meaning at a glance, greed, poverty, consciousness, hoarding, feeling attached to material possessions. So just like they're saying, like, you cannot, it's like, when's the last time you used this? If you've never used it, why not donate it to a shelter or to like a food bank or something, and someone else could buy it at a cheaper price and they could actually use it. So stop hoarding onto things that no longer are of use. It's time to, to purge. I really like this card, Starlight, because it's basically talking about when the moon is not in the sky, so the new moon. And they're saying that the elves come out and they start singing of ancient songs of time, of old, of our ancestors. So just like when we think that one of our senses are gone. So because if we think about the new moon, it's dark outside. So our sense of sight is taken away. But they're saying, close your eyes and listen. And that's where the elves come in. They're singing of songs of old. They're telling you of times of old, of your ancestors. So they're saying they sing of the stars of themselves, whose light still reaches us long after the lives of extinction. The elves sing of hope, troubles, and tyrants come and go, but the stars shine on ever on. Starlight comes to reassure you that everything happens for a reason, even if you cannot perceive it now. I feel like a lot of us are in that kind of confusion, like what's going to happen? I know a couple people, it's like we're in that middle ground. It's like we don't know, we're safe, everything is fine, but what is going to happen when this certain event happens? So it's like that uncertainty. Stars come on to reassure you that everything happens for a reason, even if you cannot perceive it now. Time and distance will bring the pattern to light. For now, breathe in the beauty of this moment and pour out your song upon the evening air. So instead of looking at the new moon as something negative, just say, like, one of my senses is taken away from me, my gift of sight, but my gift of hearing is enhanced. We can hear more of the tree frogs. We can hear more of the owl and, some birds that, I know Jules, when she's asleep, she actually does sing still. I'm like, that's pretty crazy. I've never noticed that before. So meaning at a glance, undying hope, immortality, spiritual connection to the cosmos, destiny, cosmic connection, external mysteries. So that's what I say, like a lot of us that talk with each other, that when I do very much answer my DMs, it's like, we're talking about all these strange dreams, and it's like that those dreams are going to come to light. There's a reason. It's the elves telling you that something's coming. So our last card is the wide world. So it's very much like the Zero the Fool, where this beautiful white buck was calling us into the forest. We're now out of the forest. And they're showing you this beautiful horizon. This is our new path. This is our new journey. Very much earth element kind of card. So he's still our guide, which is brilliant. Like, we love to have guides. So they're telling us to take advantage. Heed the call. So step forward and you're out of the old life and into the new. So very much when we're talking about this release card, they're telling us to step out of this old grief, out of this old bereavement, and step into the new. Look how beautiful what is awaiting for us. We just have to make that step forward. Just like the white buck here is telling us, this young buck, it's safe. I'm here to guard you. I'm here to guide you. Guard and guide you. He will guard you with his big, strong antlers, but he's going to guide you along this path. Tis but a banging of the door behind you. A Bithel, some step forward, and you are out of the old life and into the new. One cycle ends and the next begins. So this is kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. We're ending one cycle of our life and the new is beginning. So it doesn't have to be a physical death. This could also be like, a divorce, a relationship ending. It does very much feel like a death because that part of your life is no longer with you. This is a positive card and not a disruptive ending with the folly card. This is a card of destiny, following the counsel of the animals, where you assure your progress and align with your greater purpose in life. You've done what you needed to do, even if you're not completely conscious of it yet. If it is time to look forward on new horizons. Yes, they're saying, you know what? You've done the healing. You've done the work. Hopefully you found your passion in this time. You made the positive step to move forward, and I'm still going to be here by your side. So contemplation, wholeness, seeing the big picture, connections to the world. So with myself, it's like coming to that consciousness that I have the ability to see and hear spirit. hear their messages, write them down. When I read for people, it's like all the messages that come through, and I'm able to pass those on to the people that seek my healing, seek my guidance, and it's just like, you're able to speak to them in that truth. So these are messages from angels. A happy move, a happy new home, or a place of employment is on the works. This moment will usher in positive new energy. So very much like, the wild world card is saying here, that this new beginning is here. It's just on the horizon, just like they're showing us with the card there. Aurora. You are flying higher right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. So sometimes, some people are for a season and a reason, and we have to realize that. And it's unfortunate, because some of those friendships did mean a lot, but, why would you want to sit there and forcibly want to be somewhere where you're not welcomed? So unfortunately, that's the situation. We already talked about the impartiality, staying balanced here in this situation, especially when they're telling us, to our heart is telling us to help this person again, but it's like, no, we got to choose ourselves. And again, with release, very much with the Enchanted Forest deck, I love it when the cards all play into each other, telling us it's time to move forward. It's enough already. It's time to move forward. So I hope you enjoyed your cards for Wednesday, February 26th. I can't even remember the date. 2020. We'll see you for Throne Thursday. Every Thursday we pull from the Game of Thrones tarot deck. Have a good one, guys. And if you are looking to book a reading for Thursday, just know it'll be later in the day. I do apologize for that, but I do have to go back to the doctor, get my cough and everything checked out again, and get some blood work done. So I gotta take care of myself so I'm able to heal others. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you soon.